It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, the science quiz program here in the Prince George's Schools, where we test science IQs, and we invite you to test your own and play along with us today. Let's see how scientifically literate you are. Today we have two outstanding elementary schools here to play our game, and let's meet them right now. First, from Bladensburg Elementary School, say hello to Skylar. Hi, Skylar. You can wave to everybody at home. Stefan is there. She is the captain. They got matching t-shirts on, and Diego is here too. Diego, nice to have you with us today. Capitol Heights is their opponent. Let's meet the Capitol Heights team. Alexander is here. Hey, Alexander. He's ready and raring to go. Captain Brian is there. He's looking confident. Yes, indeed. And Amani is back for her second year. Amani, nice to have you back. Here on the Science Bowl, we have 6 categories of questions. And if you're not familiar with our program, let's introduce you to those categories right now.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green Things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body Systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing, and digesting your food. Let's Get Physical, questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, increasingly difficult questions 15, 20, and the toughest of them all 25. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. And to the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 good-looking teams will come back to play our game again and perhaps advance to the championship match in this, our 39th season. Let's go over and make sure everything is working properly. Let's go to that red team. Stefan, would you try your buzzer? It looks good. It sounds good. Good luck to you, Skylar, and to Diego. How about that green team, Brian? All right, looking good over there as well. You, Alexander, and Amani, congratulations to all of you for being selected to represent your schools. Let's have a good game. May the better team win. We go alphabetically, B before C. So, Stefan, let's do it. Give me a category and a number.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. When animals eat members of their own species, as some sharks and reptiles and insects do, it's called this. Capitol Heights.
Cannibalism.
It is cannibalism, yes. Imagine that. If you have fish at home, you got to hide the baby fish because the adults will eat them all up. Good first start. Go green.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo for 15 points. The 4 kinds of animal behaviors you might see in your pets, if you've got a dog or a cat, are fight, they all begin with an F, fight, flight, fidget, and this which rabbits do, hoping predators don't see them. They freeze. They freeze. Rabbits do this. They think, oh, maybe that wolf won't see me if I don't move. Okay, no points that time. Go again, green.
Zoo Parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. There is a national park in the Congo called Virunga. It's the only park in the world where you can see the okapi, which looks like a cross between a zebra and a giraffe. And it's the only park that also has okapis and these largest primates. Bladensburg.
Gorilla.
You got that right. I heard you whisper that all the way over here, Skylar. Nice answer. Go red. Go ahead, Stefan. You pick.
Body Systems for 5.
Body for 5 points. All right. You've probably all done this. There's a good 4-part exercise for kids that promotes balance. It's also the name of a kid's song that goes head, shoulders, knees, and what? Capitol Heights.
Toes.
Toes, that's right. Can you touch your toes? You got it right. Okay, go green.
Body Systems for 10.
Body for 10. Question is as follows. The middle ear bone, this middle ear bone, is so named because it resembles where horseback riders put their feet? All right, Capitol Heights.
Pass it to Alexander.
Alexander.
Stirrups.
A stirrup, that's right. The hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. The three tiniest bones in your body. Good answer. All right, tie score, 70 all. Go green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo for 10. All right. There are 4 American flyways, including the Atlantic seaboard one, that thousands of geese use every year when they do this. When they do what, Capitol Heights?
Migrate.
When they migrate, yeah. Now we know that the Canada geese oftentimes, they stay right here. They don't go anywhere. They like all the food on our golf courses. Okay, go again green. 10 points ahead.
Body system for 15.
Body for 15. Question is as follows. This is interesting. Think carefully. It's not just your fingertips that have unique prints. So too does this body part, which is a sense organ, connected to the gustatory part of your brain. Where else would you find a print? Correct answer. Yes, go ahead.
Pass it to Alexander.
Your feet.
Not your feet. That's a good try. It's a very good try. Gustatory is a hint to food, to eating, and tasting. It's the tongue. It's the tongue has a print, just so your fingerprints. Most people don't know that. And now you do. All right, let's go again, please. Last correct answer was green. Go, Brian.
Body system for 20.
Go ahead.
Body system for 20.
For 10. All right. Body for
20.
I think
20.
we did body for 10.
20.
20 points. All right. 20 points in body. When the brain, when the brain hits the side of the skull due to a fall or a collision, as happened to quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, this injury is often...
Concussion.
It is a concussion, yes indeed, sir. And he has had numerous concussions, and yet he still comes back to play. Go, you're at the century mark, 100. Go green.
Green things for 5.
Green for 5. Question is as follows. A plant called the Virginia creeper and the hog peanut and some other toxic 3-leafed plants are often confused with this 3-leafed, Capitol Heights.
Poison ivy.
Poison ivy, also a 3-leaf plant. Leaves a 3, let it be. All right, good, green, go. Come on, guys. Help Stefan out here, Diego and Skylar, go.
Green things for 10.
Green for 10, all right. Even though something called cyanobacteria are often called blue-green algae, they are not plants. But they can use sunlight to perform this food-making process. Capitol Heights.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Right? They can photosynthesize. And it's a good thing to do. They're all found in the ocean and in lakes, and it supplies our planet with the oxygen we need. That buzzer says we've come to the end of the first round. It's been a quick one. It's a good one right now. It's Bladensburg X70, Capitol Heights 115. More Science Bowl straight ahead. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the second half of Science Bowl. 2 outstanding elementary schools here today, Bladensburg and Capitol Heights. And let's meet the players. I told you at the top of the show that Amani is back for the second year, but all of our other players are first timers. Let's go to Bladensburg first. And Stefan, tell us about Bladensburg. Who is your principal?
Our principal is Principal Frazier.
Wonderful. And is out there rooting for you, I know. And who's the coach of your team?
Dr. Danga.
Dr. Danga, and she is all in when it comes to Science Bowl. And I know her husband is also a Science Bowl coach at another school, so it's a Science Bowl family. Any alternates on your team?
We have Sibyl and Francisco. Francisco is currently out sick.
Wonderful, and they appreciate you mentioning their names. We'll bring them out at the end of the show. They get some FaceTime here, too. Tell me something about your school that you think everybody should know, that's something special.
All the teachers really teach well, and they are very engaging with students. And I love how there's a lot of after-school activities, and they are really fun.
Boy, you speak so well, engaging with students. You know, that is, if you've ever thought about being a communicator or a reporter, you know, you should pursue that. Tell us about yourself. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be an actress.
An actor. I can see you doing that. You would know your lines well. You know, you're doing such, you've got good stage presence here. Good luck in the second half. Diego, nice to have you here. You're a 5th grader, right? Are you all 5th graders?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Diego, tell us the Diego story. You are a soccer player, right?
Yes.
You'd like to play professionally someday?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite player or team?
My favorite player is Messi, and my favorite team is Real Madrid.
Wow. Yeah, Messi was at the White House recently. He got an award, a medal from President Biden. So, I mean, he's pretty up there. He's up there, yeah. Something to look forward to for yourself someday. Skylar, nice to have you here. Why'd you want to be on the show?
I thought it seemed interesting, and I just wanted to try it out.
That's the thing you got to do in life. You know, all of you, it took courage to do this. You didn't have to do this, but you put yourself out there. You wanted to see, hey, can I do this? You know, in front of everybody. And so I respect you for that. I hope you're glad you came.
Yeah, I am.
Tell us what you want to do someday.
I want to become a lawyer.
A lawyer. You have that steadiness of a lawyer already. You know, I can see you up there as an advocate for somebody on trial. Good luck to you on that. Let's go over and talk to the team from Capitol Heights. Brian, nice to have you with us there. Brian, boy, you are on top of all this. Tell us a little bit about Capitol Heights first. Tell us who your principal is.
Our principal is Miss Berry.
Yes, I know she is very enthused for you guys being here today. And who's your coach?
Our coach is Mr. McCotter.
Yeah, and Mr. McCotter, is this his first year as a coach?
Yes.
And he told me he did those shirts for you?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's all in as well. Yeah, he's very proud of you guys. I was asking you before we came on the air, Brian, how you know so much science. What do you do?
I watch a lot of shows that are about science, and I also read a lot of science.
You did all the right things. Readers do real well on this program here. Any alternates on your team, Brian?
Our alternates are Clea and Warren.
And they'll bring them out. We'll bring them out in a few moments so they can get some FaceTime as well. And tell me something special about Capitol Heights. We learned from Sifan what a wonderful place Bladensburg is to go to school. I bet Capitol Heights is too. Why so?
One thing special about Capitol Heights is that it has the tag program, Talented and Gifted, and it can accelerate your learning. So I like that. The class feels less boring because sometimes you know everything, so you get bored.
Exactly. Well, that's a good point. And I like the word accelerate too. You know, everybody wants to be engaged, and you know, if you're not being challenged, you know, you're all right. Well, what am I going to do? Boredom is not a great thing. It always does well, and Capitol Heights has always done well in our program, as has Bladensburg. Brian, someday, what you going to do?
I want to be either a scientist or an animator.
Wonderful. An animator, so a good drawer, a good artist as well over there. Alexander, nice to have you with us today. Why did you want to be on our show? Did someone volunteer you, or
yes.
did you volunteer?
Yeah, my teacher volunteered me.
Very nice, yeah. Saw some talent there, and you've been doing so well on the program already. And what would you like to do someday? If you thought about that, we talked earlier, any inkling?
Nope.
No inkling. This guy is a blank slate. He's just going to absorb all these experiences and enjoy being a kid as long as he can. I like that. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to play games.
Very good. All right, you're playing a game right now, and you're doing well. Amani, nice to have you back. Why'd you come back?
So last year we unfortunately didn't win, so I want to come back. And
this is you want to do it this time. I understand that. You told me earlier that you like to bake, yeah? And you like to bake what? Cupcakes?
Yeah, I like to bake cupcakes, and I like to bake with my cousin and my family because it's kind of like a comfort thing for me to do.
Very good.
Really
what else
fun.
do you do in your spare time if you're not baking?
I like to draw, and I also like to read.
Yeah, another reader. Wonderful. Congratulations. And someday, what do you want to do?
I either want to be an artist or a pediatrician.
Or a pediatrician. You have a couple of brothers and sisters at home? So you're practicing on them already. All right, let's get back into the game. 70 for Bladensburg, 115 Capitol Heights. Last correct answer came from that green team. We ready? We pumped? Round two, here we go. Brian.
Green thinks for 15.
Green for 15. Here's your question. Since flowering causes this plant to then die, if an entire forest of flowers Since flowering causes this plant to then die, if any entire forest of it flowers at the same time, it can have dire consequences for pandas because it is what pandas eat. Capitol Heights.
Bamboo.
Bamboo, that's right. Thanks for indulging me there. Bamboo, the only thing that pandas will eat. Even though they were designed, they evolved as carnivores, but they changed their diet. All right, go again, Keith. Green, please.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo for 25. The big one in that category is as follows. Unlike most snakes and other reptiles, rattlesnakes are what we call viviparous. V-I-V-I-P-A-R-O-U-S. They are viviparous, meaning they use this means of reproduction. How do they reproduce, these rattlesnakes? Because they are viviparous. Most reptiles lay eggs. Reptiles do not. They have their live young. They bear their live young. Their young live, excuse me. Go again, Green.
Body systems for 25.
Body for 25 points. All right. A surgeon recently mistakenly removed a person's liver when he should have been taking out this S-initialed organ that helps your immune system. Yes, come on, Stefan.
Stomach?
Not the, oh, that's a good try. Not the stomach. It does begin with S. This S-initialed organ, he was supposed to take that out. He took a liver instead. This S-initialed organ helps the immune system, and it's where our red blood cells are made.
Spleen.
Spleen it is. All right, good comeback there. Nicely done, Brian. Go. 25 more points.
Green.
Nice try, guys. Get them next time.
Green things for 20.
Green for 20 points. All right. It is now thought that trees synchronize the release of their seeds to overwhelm the seed eaters, giving just enough seeds a chance to fall into the soil to do this. What are they going to do? Come on.
Grow.
Another word.
Germinate.
Germinate. That's what I want to hear. You needed those points. Go red. Go ahead, Stefan.
Oh, sorry. Let's get physical for 10. Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Here we go. Some bacteria and yeast produce hydrogen sulfide gas, which smells like rotten what? Capital Heights?
Eggs.
Eggs, that's right. It's no mistaking. Hydrogen sulfide. Rotten eggs. Good, go.
Green things for 25.
Green for 25. Big one in that category, teams. Black spot, rust, powdery mildew, canker. Some of the most common of these are caused by fungus and bacteria. Those are all what? That can afflict plants. What do you think?
Mold?
Not mold. Those are all the most common causes of plant what? Diseases. Plant diseases are what we're looking for. Tough question. Go. Again, green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10. Look at the monitor in the studio, please, for this visual question, if you would. You know, if you hold a chicken egg up to a candle and you see a red spot, like you see here, or red spidery veins on the yolk, you'll know that the egg is in what F-initialed condition? F-initialed condition, Bladensburg.
Fertilization?
Fertilization or fertile, absolutely right. Good. Red, go. You're over 100 now.
Daylight science for 5.
Go ahead.
Daylight science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Another picture. Look at the monitor once again, if you would, please. Our newest middle school is named for Dr. Ellen Ochoa, the first Hispanic woman to ever fly into space. She did so 4 times aboard one of these now retired space vehicles. That is a what, Capitol Heights?
Spaceship.
Specifically?
A rocket.
Not a rocket. Come on, Bladensburg. You can tell me what is the name of that kind of space transport system that we no longer use, but Ellen Ochoa flew aboard one 4 times.
A jet?
Space shuttle. It's a space shuttle. That's the name of it. Try again, please. Red. Stefan, go. Yes, ma'am.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Oil reduces this resistance force that occurs when 2 surfaces touch each other. What force? What force, Capitol Heights?
Friction.
Friction, yes, sir. Good, go. Green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri, 5 points. Some doctors say that the best remedy for leg cramps, if you ever get a leg cramp, is to take a swig of the juice of this crunchy green vegetable that, yes, Stefan.
Lettuce?
Not lettuce, good try. Capitol Heights. Get rid of leg cramps? Best remedy, take a swig of the juice of this crunchy green vegetable that was once a cucumber.
Pickle.
A pickle. It's pickle juice. Yes, indeed. You would have gotten it if you'd waited for that last question there. Skylar, nice try. Go green.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical for 5 points. Last August 19th, the whole world got to see a supermoon, which happens when the moon is in this phase and closest to the Earth in its orbit. What phase of the moon? Yes, sir.
Full moon.
Full moon is right. Yeah, he wasn't quite sure of that, but you got it right. Nicely done, Brian and Alexander and Amani. Go green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri, 15 points. While stop signs are octagonal, snowflakes and beehive cells are this shape. Brian?
Hexagons.
Hexagon or hexagonal, absolutely right. Thank you, Alexander. Good assist on that. Go again, green.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline 10. Emissions of this powerful M-initialed greenhouse gas are growing at the fastest rate in history. It's a gas that comes mostly from cows when they belch or when they pass gas, right?
Methane.
Methane, that's right. It also has a distinctive smell many times. Go again. Green.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline, 15 points. On Greenland, the world's largest island, geologists have found the world's oldest rock. The 4-billion-year-old gneiss, G-N-E-I-S-S, is what kind of M-initialed rock? If you know your rocks, which one is M-initialed? Come on, Capitol Heights.
Metamorphic.
You got it, young man. It is a metamorphic rock, not sedimentary, not igneous. Good, go.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. Big one in that category. Fossils of trilobites, an extinct kind of arthropod, have been found not in the usual sedimentary rocks where you normally find fossils, but in these I-initialed kinds of rocks.
Igneous rocks.
Igneous, that's right. If you were listening, I gave you a hint last time. Igneous is right. Good, go.
Science potpourri for 20.
Science potpourri for 20. It's a multiple choice question. You would see pyrocumulus clouds, P-Y-R-O, P-Y-R-O, cumulus clouds, prior to a snowstorm, during a forest fire, or when hail is about to fall.
Forest fire.
Jump in. You know, at this point, make sure you, just, even if it's a multiple choice, see if you can grab some points. Yes, sir.
Forest fire.
Forest fire. Pyro is always a prefix that refers to fire. Good, go.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. All right. This is a tough question. Let's see if you can get this. Guanine, one of the nucleic acids found in RNA, is so named because it was first found in bird poop, better known by this G-initialed name. Yeah.
Guano.
It is guano. You're absolutely right. Yes, you pulled that one out of the hat. We have 2 questions left. Capitol Heights, where do you want to go? 3, which else is it? Let's get physical for 20 is also available.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20. Here it is. All right. Let's get physical for 20. This point, often cited by meteorologists, is the temperature at which the air becomes saturated with water vapor and cannot hold any more. This point. It's the dew point. The dew point. Go again, green.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. It is thought that the lack of hurricanes early last summer, because there were a lot of them toward the end, early last summer, the lack of hurricanes was the result of a change in monsoon wind patterns and less dust particles coming from what African desert? Capitol Heights.
Sahara Desert.
Again?
Sahara Desert.
It is the Sahara Desert, absolutely right. And that buzzer says we've come to the end of the game, and it looks like Capitol Heights is going to take the crown today. We'll double check that score and be back with you in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. What a great game today, and we are proud of all of our players here. As I was telling them when we first ended here, I said the last time you did this was never, for the most case, other than Amani, and they really acquitted themselves beautifully. Our final tally today is Bladensburg 100, Capitol Heights 320. Congratulations, Capitol Heights. Let's give a nice round of applause to Capitol Heights. Amazing job. And Bladensburg, a round of applause for them as well. They did a terrific job here today. Stefan, would you be good enough to tell us who's standing back there?
So we have our alternate Sabella
Yes?
and our coach, Dr. Dinga.
Absolutely, and thank you all for being here and for giving us such a wonderful experience today. Brian, you're up.
This is our alternate Lauren, this is our alternate Kalia, and this is our coach, Mr. McCarter.
Absolutely, and thank you guys. You did a great job. We're going to see you in the next round, and I hope you'll come back for another edition of Science Bowl as well. Until then, I'm Mr. Z. Bye-bye, everyone.